Assalamualaikum guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today our topic is family law. In the family law, the marriage. What is the marriage about family law and other information? Marriage and the transfer of dependence. We should detail all marriage in this video. Watch video till end and subscribe my channel. What is marriage? The history of a marriage is bound up with the legal and the economic dependence of a woman upon men and the legal incapacities of a woman in owing and dealing with the property in Babylonian of for example, one characteristics of a legal wife was the she bought property to the marriage as a contribution to the support of the new family. Marriage as a transfer of dependence in system in which the female the legally and economically dependence within a family hierarchy. The judicial essence of a marriage in the transfer of the female from control by her own family to control by her husband. Marriage customary of many times countries and religions exhibit in the principle in a variety of forms. For example, in a certain kind of a Roman marriage, in a marriage among the Japanese samurai in the traditional Chinese marriage, in Hindus marriage based upon the joint family, in the rabbinical law, in the Islamic law, and in the Germanic and in the Celtic customary law, the Germanic traditions were imported into the England and were the combined with the normal concepts to the become the basis of the English common law of marriage. The Germanic law provide at a law in the higher class of the families with the properties of a payment with the by the bridegroom for the transfer of responsibilities for and power over the woman, bride wealth and for a settlement on the groom by the bride family dowry. The giving of the ring had a symbolic role in many kinds of a wedding and a betrothal ceremonies. The word wed derives from the Anglo-Saxon word of the security given to the bind to a promise. The property used as a security was not necessarily transferred but given symbolically, i.e., the ring in a modern wedding services in the church of the England. The giving of the security is reflected in the word with his ring, it word, and the settlement of property in the word, and with all my worldly goods. In 3 and O, the ministry has previously asked who gave this woman to marry to this man, and one of the receiving women as a father or a friend. What is marriage as a voluntary relationship? The widespread modern idea of a marriage is a voluntary exchange of a promises between two people, usually man and a woman. Usually man and a woman. Usually man and a woman. Even through a marriage, many involves substantial decision as to the property. These matters now tends either to be automatically when there is no marriage contract or be formalized separately from the marriage ceremony. The ceremony itself is normally an exchange of a consistent accompanied by religious observance or a civil ceremony or a both. The purpose of legal formalities is to different the relationship of the concubines and to create certain legal incidents such as the maintenance custody of a children right under matrimonial regime, instantaneous succession and claims under health and life insurance policies and pension funds. Civil union or a domestic partnership in the jurisdiction where they are recognized also create many of their legal incidents. Legal limitation on a marriage. In earlier legal system, especially in Asia, the woman consent was often unnecessary or of a mirror importance. The marriage negotiations took place between the woman, father, and the man or his family. Voluntary consent of the parties became important in the Roman time. Roman law during the period of empire distinguished between an agreement of a present marriage and an agreement of a future marriage. Sponsilla per verba the presenti. The distinction was taken over by the Christianity and the promise. What is the public interest? It is have been difficult to delineate the boundaries between the public and the private interest in marriage law. The public interest involved in the prevention of a clandestine marriage in requiring a license or the publication of a ban as a condition precedent to marriage in the requiring parental consent for a marriage between persons of a certain age in providing for the registration of marriage in a public manner. In practice, however, the marriage law are often a mixture of a functional administrative provision such as the requirement of the registration and the health certificates. Old customary and the religious ceremonies marriage statutes were introduced in the time of to combat the danger of the clandestine marriage which were possibly under the old law in Europe and England by some form of a mutual consent. In addition to direct proof of consent, a clandestine marriage could be established by the engagement followed by a sexual intercourse, matrimonium, subsequent copula, or by habit and the rapture marriage. Evidence of acceptance in the community has been married persons clandestine marriage was significant at a time when a man could acquire control over the property of a woman including absolute ownership of the much of it. The emancipation of the woman has put an economic advantage. What is age? Suitable ages. In order to satisfy the requirements of a voluntary consent to a marriage, a party must have reached an age at which he or she is able to giving meaningful consent, and it is also implied that a person may be legally disqualified on a mental grounds from having capacity to the marry. Marriages of young children negotiated by their children by the parents are prohibited in most modern societies. Historically, the attitude of the English common law was that a person under 7 years of age lacked the mental ability to consent to the marriage, and the between 7 years and the publicity. There could be the consent but not consummation at the common law. Therefore, the marriage of the person between the ages of a 7 or a 12 or a 14 was inherited and would become checked on the reaching puberty if no objections 15 to 18. What is religion? Religion has been had a strong influence on a marriage law, often providing a main family law which goes back at least 400,000 years and may be the oldest known system is the branch of Dharma. This is executed of the religion, moral, social, and legal duties and obligations as developed by the spirits, or a collection of a law, Islamic and Jewish family law. Also rests on a spiritual authority. Religious court had been jurisdiction over family matters in the various countries and in some countries. The judgment have no standing in the secular law. In Roman Catholic and the Greek Orthodox Christian marriage, and also in the Muslim and the Jewish marriage, the application of the religion law is regarded as a binding upon the person belonging to the faith, where a religion text provide the literally authority of legal principle is as in Islamic law. It may be necessary to reinterpret the text in order to form the law. This raises complex issues in those Muslim countries where there are movements for greater equality of sexes. I hope so that you have understood the topic of family law. Please like, share, subscribe my channel. Inshallah, we will meet in our next video. Uh, we will meet in our next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.